Hello and welcome to Jack of All Trips. Today we're going to check out downtown Seattle. There's some great views at Pike Place Market today. The weather's good. The new waterfront connection is open, so hopefully we'll see some cool stuff. We're parked right now at Amazon, which offers free parking on weekends and holidays right in the heart of South Lake Union. Very nice of them and very convenient. So let's enjoy some views, let's enjoy some good walking, and see what we can find. So I'm standing here in front of the Amazon Spheres, which has become an iconic part of Seattle's downtown. Fantastic glass architecture and a wide abundance of greenery really adds life to a part of the city that historically lacked it. Right down the road from the Space Needle and close to pretty much everything you want to see. It's a fantastic centerpiece for Amazon campus and a great testament to the success growing here in the region. As we walk around South Lake Union, we can see a lot of the growth happening. Just on the opposite side of the road here, you can see a pretty large building under construction. This one looks to be about 40 stories. See if I can get you guys a better view. Ooh, big one. Lots and lots and lots of development and growth here. A lot of it commercial, some of it residential. Seattle, I believe, currently has more cranes operational than any other city in the US. So just goes to show you this place is booming. So this part of South Lake Union I'm currently in offers a pretty interesting contrast between the past and the present. You can see here opposite, there's kind of this empty lot. There's a petrol station over there. Just, again, a little bit kind of more of what was traditionally here, contrasting with these very large buildings. And if you continue to walk up this way, there's some kind of 5-6 story, more traditional buildings that you would have seen here a longer time ago. We'll kind of pan around and see if we can get to that view. There's a Walgreens up there. This is the sort of thing that mostly was here at the time, and that was the new development, some probably 10-15 years ago. But today, obviously, those buildings look very small. So it just goes to show you the pace of change here is only accelerating. It still is amazing to see how the industrial mix of the city is changing as well. Obviously, Seattle is traditionally known for Boeing and for forestry, and for a long time those were the key industries. Like any city that's relatively remote, resources play a big role, and there tend to be a lot of boom-bust cycles. And probably about 50 years ago in the 1970s, Seattle went through a pretty big bust. There were challenges with the fuel crisis that made the aircraft business a little bit less resilient, that caused Boeing some problems. And, at the same time, timber couldn't do it all. So, Seattle was shrinking, and there was a lot of apprehension and concern about the future of the city, to the point where somebody even put up a famous billboard saying, will the last person out of Seattle please turn the lights out? Obviously, today that seems laughable, but what happened in the interim is probably in the late 70s to the 80s, we started to see the growth of tech here. Microsoft started here. I believe around that time is when Jeff Bezos also started Amazon in his garage in Bellevue. And it also resulted in a pretty significant reweighting of the gravity of the city. Well, the majority of a lot of the urban infrastructure still is here in the city of Seattle. In the last 40 years, as tech has grown and the city has grown, a lot of the economic base has become more decentralized into the eastern suburbs in particular. So Bellevue, Redmond, Kirkland, that's where you'll find a lot of the tech growth today, but certainly the city has had its fair share of it, and there are many, both large and small companies that have grown here and continue to grow here in the city. As we make it a bit further north, we're approaching Seattle Center, which is a very, very, very cool spot here in the northern end of downtown. Seattle Center was the site of the 1962 World's Fair, which was an event that really helped put Seattle on the map. and it's probably second major exposition of its kind after the Alaska Yukon Pacific Expo. I might be wrong in the exact name of that, but that would have been 1909, and today's University of Washington campus was built on the original site of that exposition. So Seattle Center obviously was built at a time when the world was much more globalized than that. You know, back in 1909, Seattle was an extremely young city, only probably about 60, 70 years old. And by 1962, you know, the city had its centennial. It was starting to grow more. You know, it had significant industries. You know, there was a lot to show for Seattle's success. But at the same time, Seattle was still a small city, it was still a provincial city, and it wanted to make an impact. So the 1962 World's Fair was an opportunity to make investments in the growth of the city and build infrastructure that would really put Seattle on the map and, you know, show really what we could do. A lot of that came in the form of investment in transit improvements. I'm actually standing right now below the tracks of the Seattle Center Monorail right up there, which was built for the 1962 World's Fair, one of the first of its kind in the world, using all-wet technology out of West Germany. There haven't been a ton of monorails since then, but this same technology powers most of them currently in operation in the world, from the Tokyo Airport monorail to the many metro monorails in Chongqing. So again, you know, a lot has happened here. Also, actually, around the same time at SeaTac Airport, the first ever platform screen doors in the world were built as part of the airport's underground train system. And today we see those in operation in metro systems all around the world, except unfortunately here in North America. So hopefully we'll catch up at some point. Here's the Space Needle in all its glory. You can see it's definitely still Seattle's preeminent landmark and preeminent viewpoint. On the top there's an observation deck, currently now covered with glass, but it used to be with cables, so it's quite fun in the wind, and when it's clear you can see all the way to the Olympic Mountains and the Cascade Mountains, so it offers unparalleled views. There's also a revolving restaurant on top, as well as a conference center in that kind of bit below, which is actually where I had my high school prom. So lots of fun memories here for me, and definitely lots of fun memories here for you too. Bring your family and come enjoy Seattle's top landmark. I'm standing here now in front of the entrance to Chihuly Garden and Glass, which is one of Seattle's top tourist attractions right here by the Space Needle, and a must-see if it's your first time to the city or if you haven't been before. It offers an opportunity to see some of Chihuly's finest works right in the shadow of the Space Needle. And if you walk into the museum, the final room actually offers you some really, really cool art on the ceiling that has this epic view of the Space Needle. So hard to compete with that, and definitely something that's iconically and authentically Seattle, worth a visit when you're here. Behind me are the iconic arches of the Pacific Science Center, which is another attraction here at Seattle Center. Really best geared toward kids, but great fun for families. It also features 2 excellent IMAX theaters if you're interested in seeing a film there. Ahead of me is the Seattle Center Armory, which offers a great variety of food options and also cultural festivals. So depending on what time you're coming, especially if it's a weekend, there's often a lot of really fun things to do and see, and details will often be available on the Seattle Center website to check out if you're interested in seeing what's on. Now coming up here, there is an exciting new addition to Seattle Center, which is Climate Pledge Arena. Technically, it's not necessarily an addition and more of a renovation. It used to be called, I believe, the KeyBank Arena or KeyBank Center back when I was a kid, and the Seattle Supersonics basketball team played there. But unfortunately, they moved to Oklahoma City, I think 2006, 2007 or so. So for a long time, we were without a team in this arena. However, the Seattle Kraken hockey team were created about 3-4 years ago. So the reason it's called the Climate Pledge Arena is because Amazon sponsored it to basically emphasize their pledge to sustainability and to climate action. And as a result, when the arena was renovated, it was renovated with a lot of very green features in mind in order to emphasize that commitment. The arena has an iconic location right across from the Armory here and across from the Seattle Center fountain, which we'll check out in just a minute. This is the iconic Seattle Center fountain. It's been here a long time and great fun for kids to test the waters. So next up, let's walk down to the Seattle Center Monorail and take it down to Westlake Station. This monorail was built for the 1962 World's Fair and is still in operation today using the original rail cars. Westlake Center, which is its destination, is a place where you can interchange with the Link Light Rail, as well as walk quite easily to Pike Place Market, which is what we'll do next. So let's go hop on board and see what it's like. Now, it used to be that you had to get a separate ticket for it, but now you can pay quite easily with your Orca card if you have one, which is Seattle's local transit card, or just buy a ticket at the station. Behind me here as we walk to the station, you can see the iconic Museum of Pop Culture, which actually I think the monorail passes through, so we'll get to see the building in another way quite shortly. Very fun destination for families, but also for adults. There's a lot of really cool television and sci-fi memorabilia in there. So no matter what you're into, you'll probably find something you like. It's also worth noting that right by the monorail entrance is the Seattle Children's Museum. It's in the first floor of the Armory and a really, really fantastic destination for children. I loved it when I was young, and your kids probably will too, if it's held up.
The trains are ready. Please stand behind the yellow line.
So we're now on the monorail to Westlake Station here at Seattle Center Station. As you can see, the monorail has a lot of glass and this cool bubble in the back. We're at the back of the train this time, so we'll get to see what's behind us as we proceed. And the train has these cool sideways facing seats, so we're bound to get a great view. Here's a good example of what's in for us now. As you can see, it's still got that really cool retro 1960s feel to it. So very fun tourist attraction, and if you're going to a Kraken game, a great way to get back and forth. Doors are closing, let's go.
Please take a seat or hold on to the handle. Thank you for your cooperation and enjoy the ride. at Westlake Station. This is our one and only stop. Please make sure you have all of your belongings and watch your step as you exit through the doors on the right side of the train.
So we're here now in front of Westlake Center, which is the traditional heart of Seattle's downtown. There's a shopping center here called Westlake Center, and then across is Westlake Park, which is kind of a small triangle park where you'll often find a lot of urban events, sometimes protests, but there's still a lot of life here despite the decline of the traditional downtown. Also here at Westlake Center is that building right up there with the star on it. It says Macy's now because Macy's bought them, but it used to be called the Bon Marché, which was Seattle's preeminent department store. Unfortunately today Macy's isn't there anymore either, and luckily Uniqlo has come in and made something new out of the space. But still, despite the decline of downtown, lots of life here this Saturday, and still a lot to see as we make the journey down to Pike Place Market. Welcome to the iconic Pike Place Market. I'm standing right here now in front of our first stop, which is Café Campagne. It's a fantastic French restaurant that is one of the highlights of the market. Would strongly recommend for a nice leisurely meal. It's right across here from Post Alley, which is back behind me over here. Post Alley features a lot of the most interesting restaurants here at Pike Place Market. There's a lot of good places to get clam chowder. I believe up here there's also a place called the Pink Door. Might be up here, might be down there. My memory's a little rusty, but it's a really famous Italian restaurant that's also very enjoyable here. So there's some places to kind of get a bit of everything here at Pike Place Market. Up here in the upper market, you're going to find a little bit more of the restaurants, kind of sit-down places that might take more time. That's going to be kind of on First and Post Alley. Then when you get down to actual Pike Place down there, you're going to find a lot more of the more famous kind of stalls, takeaway kind of spots, and then down in the market deeper you'll find flowers, fruits, meats, and all sorts of other local delicacies. So the market kind of continues as you go down to the waterfront. Pike Place Market is the oldest market in the United States of its kind, and it's a fantastic place to come get a bit of everything. It's touristy, especially in the summers, but still, you can't beat some of the stuff available here in terms of its freshness and its quality. Let's go take a look and see some of my favorites. So throughout the market, you'll find a lot of fruit and vegetable stands like the one behind me. Not much is in season right now, but they still got a pretty good selection. And in the summer, you'll find a lot of our fresh specialties, from apples to pears to peaches to, I mean, you name it, it's here. There's also a lot of bakeries and cheese places, and especially seafood spots like the one right here behind me. You can see they've got all the different specialties. This time of year, a lot more of it's going to be frozen, but again, in the summer, peak freshness, fishing season, you'll get a lot of really, really nice stuff. I strongly recommend looking for fresh salmon, especially if it's sockeye, because it really helps the texture. King salmon is something that you'll also find a little bit more expensive, but fattier, better flavor, and probably the most prized variety of salmon. There are 5 local varieties in total, all of which have wonderful flavor characteristics and great color to them. You'll also find Dungeness crab, which is also local to the area, great quality fish. You'll find halibut in the summer, very, very large white fish, and it just tastes great, kind of creamy, kind of buttery. Our seafood selection here is sublime. We're lucky to live in one of the best seafood regions in the world, and I haven't even gotten into the shellfish. So definitely make sure you check it out in the summer. And whether you're eating it at a restaurant or cooking it at home, you'll love it either way. So this here is mise en pastry, which is another one of my favorites. Quite a long queue today. It's been here a very long time. It's a bakery that has a lot of great Cantonese specialties this time of year. Lots of mooncakes, lots of buns, everything you could really want. Quite a queue today, especially because of Chinese New Year, but definitely worth a stop, and one of my favorite places at the market. Definitely don't miss the barbecued pork buns. They're classic, but they do them well, and definitely on par with the best I've had around the world. Today I made a stop at Cinnamon Works and got myself a nice maple cinnamon roll, which I'll enjoy quite shortly here. Kind of hard to eat on camera, but it's going to be good. So I'll see you guys in a minute once I've had a bite of that. Thanks for your patience as I enjoyed that cinnamon roll. It was good, but unfortunately we didn't have the budget for our cameraman to show me eating it. So my post review will have to do. I'll say good quality dough, good flavor, not too sweet, just the way I like it. So thank you to the good folks at Cinnamon Works, and if you're watching this video, thank you. Now, I'm standing here across the street of Cinnamon Works, in front of Beecher's Cheese, which is an iconic Pike Place Market landmark, and Seattle's probably most famous cheese shop. Beecher's has been in business for a pretty long time now, and at this point you'll find a lot of their stuff nationally, but for a while it was only available here. And they're famous in particular for their very sharp cheddar. It's a white cheddar made in this traditional way. You can actually see right behind me, not too well through the window, but they're actually stirring the milk here, and over in the kind of far bin there, you can actually see the whey. I'm not sure how well you can see it in the video, but regardless, very visible through the window. You can see them working, and there's usually quite a queue to go pick up both cheeses from their shop. They make all sorts of kinds in addition to their flagship cheddar, as well as sandwiches, mac and cheese, which is probably their most famous thing. Unfortunately for me, I didn't have this when I was a kid, but I developed a dairy allergy in adulthood, so I remember just how good it tastes, but unfortunately can't have any of it. So I missed it dearly. Please, if you come to Pike Place Market, enjoy some for me, and you will not regret it. That's Beecher's Cheese right here at the corner of Pine and Pike. Now past the Panier is Pierogi, which I'm currently in queue for, another Pike Place Market favorite, and normally the queue is much longer than this, so I'm going to go for it while I can. They've got a variety of wonderful Russian pastries, both sweet and savory, lots of good stuff to try, and would recommend a stop here as part of your meal tour, if that's the approach you're taking to Pike Place Market, which if it's your first time, I think is probably the best way. All right, I've gone for the potato mushroom pierogi today from Pierogi. It's a little bit more of a finger food than the last one, so let's take a bite. Fantastic. Beautiful flaky dough with great flavor, just as expected. The filling is nice and flavorful. Just overall, really, really tasty package. One of the best pastries you can find in Seattle, and a Pike Place Market staple for a reason. So definitely make sure you stop by. They've got quite a large menu with a good variety of options for folks with different dietary needs as well. So again, would recommend pierogi here at Pike Place Market. Looks good. So we've made it to the other end of the market, and I'm currently standing in front of Steinbrook Park, which is currently closed for renovation, but if it was open, the view from here of the water is absolutely epic. I'll talk about a few more things here at the market. I'd love to show you more, but I do have to get home, so we'll cut it a little bit short. There's the gum wall, which is definitely worth checking out if it's your first time. There's the fish toss, there's the pig statue. One thing we also did pass by is the first Starbucks. Very, very popular tourist destination and almost always the longest queue here at Pike Place Market. However, my best local tip is that you should skip it. Here's why. The actual first Starbucks was just down the road, not part of Pike Place Market, and it's no longer actually there. I think the building was damaged in a fire. Don't quote me on that, but that's what I've always been told. So the first Starbucks at Pike Place Market, while very cool, is probably not worth the queue. Instead, unless you really, really, really want to go take a picture with the logo and follow the trend, there's a lot of really cool other places here at the market to see, or if you're looking for something Starbucks specific, there's also the Starbucks Reserve nearby as well, so lots of other things to see that might not be quite as long of a queue. Now, the end of the market here at Steinbrook Park is definitely worth seeing when it's open. There's also the new waterfront connection, which I'll try to go find shortly. It just opened, so not exactly sure how to get there, but it's part of the new aquarium expansion and the waterfront, which is also worth seeing, especially on a beautiful day like this. So let's go see what we can find and check it out. So we have found it, and wow, what a massive improvement to Pike Place Market and to the waterfront. This used to be very disjointed because there was a giant highway here. We tore that out about 10 years ago, and now the world's largest diameter tunnel instead connects the south of the city, the north of the city underneath us. However, once the viaduct was torn down, there's still quite a large road here, right? And the waterfront and the market did not feel connected. This improvement is huge because what's been done is, for one, the aquarium has been expanded. So now there's a whole new, I think some sort of giant like ocean tank thing down here below where we're standing. And on top, there's been this really big, pedestrian focused improvement here with lots of plants, lots of greenery, lots of walking paths, and lots of amazing places to see the water. And what a view it is, especially on a day like this. I was not expecting the sun to come out today, but man, we were lucky. Let's have a look. Just epic. You can see the Great Wheel down there. You can see the stadiums. You can see the water. It's a great reminder of why this city is so beloved, so beautiful. Because on a day like this, there's really not much that's better. Let's enjoy the view for a little while, and then we'll call it a day. what an incredible view and what an incredible day. Thank you all so much for joining me on this tour of Seattle. If you enjoyed the video, please feel free to like and subscribe. My goal for this channel is to show you interesting places near and far as I continue my adventures, and I look forward to having you along. So please stay tuned. I'm still pretty new at this, so if you have feedback, please feel free to let me know as well, and I'm looking forward to creating more interesting content to share the world with you. So thank you so much again for watching, and I hope you have a great day ahead.